Well, here we are at Love Winter Art, hashtag Love Winter Art. Put that in your little search box on YouTube and oh my goodness, go look at all the hashtag Love Winter Art projects there are out there. With Christmas coming, everybody is doing so many beautiful, crafty things for the holiday seasons. I'm going to do something a little bit different for my Love Winter Art. What I'm going to do is, well, first I need to tell you, this past month I learned a new vocabulary word. And I probably will do an arcad for it, but not right away. I might do one in the next couple days. But I'm going to write it down here so that you can see the word. In fact, why don't I zoom in? The word, are you ready for this? Is spelled P-A-R-E-I-D-O-L-I-A. Pareidolia. Now, what does that mean? It's a very interesting word, and if you're an artist, or even if you're a young child with a healthy imagination, you probably have experienced pareidolia. What pareidolia is the phenomenon that when you look at something like clouds in a sky and your mind picks out images that really were not there. And an example of that would be when I had my urban sketching wipe-off paper from last month. Remember I did that postcard? I'll put a picture of it up on the screen here. I made that postcard from a wipe-off paper where I was cleaning off my brushes when I was out during urban sketching. Pareidolia. Now, here's another wipe-off page, and this is what I'm going to work on for this session of the hashtag Love Winter Art. Now, there's a lot of green color on this page because I did most of my urban sketching during the spring and summer when everything is nice and you can be outside. But now, just as I flipped this over, I did not think that this side would be very good. But it's funny because you can stare and stare and stare at these pages and not seeing anything. And then all of a sudden when I flipped this over, I saw something. I see a man here. Look, here's his hat. Now I'm not going to use this side. It will probably be painted over and cut up. But here's his hat. Here's his hat right here. Here's his hat. And he's got a coat on. And he's facing that way, and it looks like he's reaching up for something. And looks like there's something right in here that's blocking his way, and he might be running because he's got a leg coming this way, and I lose track of his shoe there, but let's just pretend that he's running, and so he's got his shoe there, and here's his other leg coming this way. Now, what is this? I don't know. Let's finish the shoe here. Well, now I'm going to cut this, so we'll probably lose the image of that man altogether. Because on here, I'm going to divide this page into 3 sections. And I'm going to show you what I'm seeing here. The first one is this one. Now, I did not see anything right away until I turned it upside down. And what did I see immediately? A hat. And I'm going to draw this lightly with my pencil. A lady who's wearing this big hat, think in the late 1800s. And she's got this red shawl on. It comes down this way. Red shawl in here. And of course she's got one of those long dresses on. Now, I see her as being in the 1800s, and look, she's facing this way, and she's standing off to the edge of the paper. Actually, because I had flipped the paper, this portion came here. but I needed this portion for another one. Maybe she looks, well, I want to say she's looking out to sea, but this is going to be a love winter art. And she's got a shawl on. Her arm is coming here, like that. So this is, ignore all that green color. This is, except for the red. The red is going to, I'm going to keep the red shawl. But all of this is going to go white and blue. Well, let's just think that she's in a big city, because that would probably make more sense. And I'm just going to kind of sketch in some street lights, maybe. Oh, like this. And perhaps she's doing her Christmas shopping. Let's just say she's lady in the red shawl standing on the edge going Christmas shopping. So that's as far as I'm going to go with that, because I just want you to see what I'm seeing in it for now. And then when I get ready to develop these, I'm going to go into fast forward motion. Now the second one, I'll bet you all see what I see in here. It is so obvious that it cannot be ignored. And this has to be a yellow bird. Look, its beak comes way out here, and its tummy is there, and it comes here, and it comes down there. I definitely see a yellow bird. So I am just going to call this my little yellow Christmas bird. Now this one was really hard, I'll tell you. And I stared and I stared and I stared at it. And I really like this blue and white coming off over here. This is winter. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Yes, this is winter. This is the color that I want to get to. What was it telling me? And all of a sudden, sometimes you have to let your eyes rest a little, go away, and come back. But all of a sudden, I saw it. There's a lady sitting here. Here's her shoulder, and here's her head right in here. And I'm going to kind of give her I'll just give her a head there. That may be too big. But this lady this is typical what you might see when they're quilting. This is a quilter. She's got her dresses coming there. Here's the quilt. The quilt this looks like it might be like a tabletop or something, but I'm going to let this quilt fall down this way. And I'm going to do quilt shapes in there. So, and kind of lose her other arm in here, but I'm just going to imagine it in there. So what's going on over here? And here again I had to stare until I saw a standing figure right here, just following that shape right there. And then I'm just going to imagine another arm coming here. So I'm going to make this another lady, and she also is working on a quilt here. See, her figure comes down there. Can you see what I'm seeing here? See, here's her head. And I really like what's happening in here. I might leave this, but I am going to call this piece the Christmas Quilters, and I'm going to develop a quilt in there. And this is my Christmas bird, and this is my lady in the red shawl going shopping. So, interesting what you can see in these pieces of images that were just more or less scrap paper. Cleaning my brush off on them. A good example of Pareidolia. Now I'm going to put 2 links in the description box below. One link will define this, as a page that defines this, and then another link is to the notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci, where he refers to bringing images out of nothing. He does not call it Pareidolia, but it's the same concept. I think he talks about seeing images on stains and on the wall. So here again, I want this to be representative of love winter art. So all of this green is going to change substantially, and I'm going to use blue and whites to make it a very wintry. So I'm going to go in, I've chattered along enough here about Pareidolia. I'm going to go into fast forward and work on these and then I'll come back at the end and show you the results. Okay, I'm finished. Now these are my 3 examples of Pareidolia that I did from my wipe-off page. In the first one, I saw a 1890s lady in a red shawl shopping on a city street for Christmas. I put a red bow on the street lamp there. Just kind of bringing out what I saw in the wipe-off page. On this one, I saw a yellow bird of Christmas, and then I put an evergreen tree with snow on it and some red berries. I did not want to touch the inside of that bird. this is all watercolor in here, and I wanted to leave that very much alone. I kind of outlined it in there. This one, I saw two ladies. I'm calling this my Christmas quilt one. And here again, I did not want to touch this area of watercolor. Very beautiful going on in this area. The ladies are just kind of falling into the background, and then they have the Christmas quilt here. So this is my new word that I've learned called Pareidolia. This is a really fun thing to do, and especially get some examples and maybe do it with your children if they're interested in art. It really stretches the imagination. Very fun. And let me tell you, Leonardo da Vinci used Pareidolia too. He talked about it in his notebooks. Very, very interesting reading. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next page.